My friend MrSaintsGodzilla is kind of a master troll. One time he convinced me that the Saints Row DLC had released early for him and he'd been playing it for a while making content, and I was sitting here like, why not me? Another time he got me with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, telling me it was going to be a Saints Row spin-off. And again I was sitting there going, oh my god, why me? It's basically, he is a good troll, and he has got me so many times over the years, and I knew that I had to get him back big, because I didn't want to get him back for one troll, I wanted to get him back for every single troll he has ever put against me, and I think I did that. This is the story of how I convinced MrSaintsGodzilla that I had a rampant cocaine addiction and was on a downward spiral, leading me all the way to faking my death. I know, kinda crazy, right? But I'm telling you, this video is wild. Well, to start a prank like this, you can't exactly just go, hey man, I'm on coke. It's not really going to work like that. You have to kind of build up to it. So, on streams, I was making a few more coke jokes than I normally would. I love a good coke jab as anyone else, but when I was saying it pretty much every other joke at times, it was kind of like, why is he mentioning it so much? And then my friend, Mad Goomba, decided to help me on this quest and message MrSaintsGodzilla. He messaged him saying that I had been asking for money, and that he thinks I might be on something. And his response was just like, oh wow, you know what he's like, a big troll. But I knew at this moment we were starting to build layers here, The coke jokes for beginning, now the money borrowing. How many more of these things would have to line up for him to start believing it? And trust me, we did a lot. Then began what I am going to call a ritual of sniffling on stream. I'm telling you, I was sniffling like I had a cold every single day. But the point of this was so that MrSaintsGodzilla would one day join my stream and hear me sniffing. Now, of course, this would line up with the whole coke allegation thing, and actually he did. One time he tunes into my stream on an alt account, private window, whatever, joins in, and guess what? I'm there going... I'm telling you, it was at that moment I knew, oh, we have got this, man. But we kept leveling it up and up. I also just want to say, for the entirety of this prank, I was faking messages to Mad Goomba constantly. I'd constantly just message him a thing as if I'm making a genuine request. He'd screenshot it, and then we'd laugh about how real it looked. So, all these things were backed up with a genuine concerned citizen approach, coming from Mad Goomba, who's also my friend and his. So, then I messaged Mad Goomba to basically say, text Godzilla and say I was drowsy all stream. Godzilla actually was watching that stream, and he was like, he seemed a little better. And it was kind of funny because I was thinking, if Godzilla's sitting here analysing whether I'm a little better than the last stream, I know I've got him. Like, he's sitting here going, was he a bit better? Was he a bit worse? Oh, I don't know. And that was when I knew, like, okay, we've got him hooked. But we need to drive home how real this is, and most importantly, drive home that it's coke I'm on, because at this point, he's probably just thinking I'm on some pain medication or something. And then came the first text of many. Now, at this point, it's important to remember that I have not even spoken to Godzilla about this entire thing. Like, I've been keeping all this weird shit to myself and just doing it casually on stream for him to notice. And he messages me what the thumbnail of this video might be. I've got a few, kind of message screenshots that I want to be the thumbnails. I'm gonna have to decide between a few here. But this one's a personal highlight. Message from Alcoholic Lizard. Someone hit me up to ask if you're doing okay. I guess it was in your last stream. You were slurring at one point, and it set off some red flags with people. Boom. We've got him. We've got him locked down. By the way, that concerned person was Goomba, the same guy we were feeding information to be trolling, and I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. There's like a three-way conversation happening here, and Godzilla doesn't realize that he's at the bottom end of this conversation, just getting false information from everyone. I kind of play it off as a haha funny type deal. And then I kind of decided that I was going to be really, really annoying about this whole thing, because I had to get him back good, okay? So every time he would bring up anything like drugs or anything illegal, I'd be like, oh, I gotta go, man, see you later. And I mean, I made it obvious. Basically, he was like, are you okay? I put, absolutely, being busy though. And then he put, okay, no more drugs, okay? And I put, I've got no clue what you're talking about. I'm tired, talk to you later. I was like, oh my god. I've got this man on strings. It was so funny, because at this point I was like, dude, if I just keep doing this every time he brings it up, I'm gonna get him. He's gonna be like, why is AJ avoiding the conversation? And this is where the layers come in. Remember, we got Goomba being the concerned citizen, me sniffling on stream, me pretending to be drowsy on stream now. Then you got me being like, avoiding the conversation. It was all just building up into this perfect troll that was forming around him like a cocoon of agony. And we continued. And then he messaged me, don't mix any alcohol with any medications you might be taking. And it was at this point I revealed to him, that I don't drink anymore, which is true, by the way, I don't drink. But I was like, yeah, I don't drink anymore, Godzilla. And that was when I think it kind of drove home, like, wait, if you're not, like, drinking, what the fuck is up with you on stream? And this is, see, now we got the, hang on, AJ's not drinking, well then why is he slurring? More things building up here, it was perfect. So Goomba just, at this point when he's kind of like, why are you slurring and stuff, Goomba's kind of just like, yeah, you might just be staying up later, playing it casual. At this point, Goomba wants to make it like he's a little concerned, but like, there's a reasonable explanation for all of this. Surely it's not anything worse. It was in fact nothing at all, but we were getting there. Goomba at this point messages me, anyways, I think we need to end it with a bang, like you friend in the cartel or something crazy. So if he doesn't believe it's true, it would be a home stretch anyways. At this point, Goomba's like, we need to make it so ridiculous he can't believe it. I was sitting here like, no, I want it to be so ridiculous that he's crying on the floor going, AJ, please stop doing drugs. I may have been a little bit evil in this one as we'll kind of proceed forward. But it's funny, okay? It has a happy ending. The ending's him being miserable. So, me and Godzilla have this joke about this Volition cheese board. I don't know why I find it funny, but there's a cheese board with, like, Volition branding on it, and I really want to get one, and the joke is being that Godzilla will find a way to get me one, basically. So, he put to me one day, I might have to trade a cheese board for something, and I can't remember what it was. And then I put back, I hope you know, I'm blaming you for my chronic drug addiction. The bullying you give me is just too much. And it was at this point, it was the first time I mentioned drugs. And I think that was, again, just another layer. It's like, oh, now AJ's mentioned drugs. See, it's all forming. It's all coming to a point where, like, I'm not directly saying anything. I'm letting Godzilla lead himself to that conclusion. Then Mad Goomba fakes this screenshot of me holding cocaine, and it's unbelievably funny, because it's just so fake looking back on it, but it's hilarious because we sent it to Godzilla, and he was none the wiser. Or at least, that's not what he told me. I'm sure that he was sitting here doubting stuff at this point in other conversations, which is the important thing. I'm sure behind the scenes he was still going, no, surely not, surely not. But we're getting there. So he messages me out of the blue, AJ, I'm like, sup? He put, give me some of that Coke. I put back, Coke? I'm a Pepsi guy, be real. And then he put, alright, at least stop scaring peeps. And I put, I'm really confused. And it's just so funny, because I was making it like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Little did he know that I was the puppeteer and he was the puppet. And he was dancing on the strings I was feeding him all along. Of course, I end this conversation with a quick, oh, I gotta go anyway, see ya, bye-bye. You know, just make it like, oh yeah, gotta go, can't talk about this. This is where it starts to get really, really funny. So, there was this clip on my stream where I was playing Minecraft, and I think I just started checking my phone, or I zoned out or something, and just kind of like stopped talking mid-sentence. I'm streaming for a lot of the time, so sometimes I check my phone and like notifications and stuff. And obviously, in the footage, I just go silent, and it was silent for like 30 seconds. So what do? We screen record it and send it to MrSaintsGodzilla as a, hey, I thought he, like, kind of passed out here. And it was so funny, because he's just like, damn, that is weird. And it was honestly just amazing. At this point, I'm also messaging Goomba, like, tons of plans. Like, I had the plan of me making a cocaine-doing tutorial to end off this troll. Or me faking a clip of me snorting cocaine. Like, there were just so many things that we didn't use because we wanted to make it believable. Just know that this troll was 100% funnier in my head, and it is still hilarious how it panned out now. And then the troll just starts to get even funnier, because at this point, I start, like, putting messages in my, like, public chats for, like, split seconds so Goomba can screenshot it, then I delete it quickly so no one sees, so it's nothing, like, suspicious for the fans. Because the goal was to try not to scare too many of the fans in this troll, even though it would all come out eventually. So, I put in my chat, honestly, I can't remember, I'm really high, to someone's question. He screenshots it, I delete it quickly. And then he put, okay, these photos don't look great. This, of course, was the fake cocaine bag, and me being I'm high. And then Goomba says that he has my address. He has my address because I needed to fly him out to help me. Or something, because I owe money to them. Goomba just starts going rogue here, by the way. We did not plan anything about me joining some mob syndicate, but we had to just write it into the lore at this point, and it was so funny, because I was like, fuck, dude, this guy thinks I'm being hunted by the London cartel. I don't even live in fucking London. It was so good. Oh, I had him just, like, perfectly going. It was incredible. And then I have the great idea. What if I find out that Goomba's prying into too much of my business and pretend I'm really mad at him, but to MrSaintsGodzilla? So I message MrSaintsGodzilla, ignore what Mad Goomba's saying. He's doing my head in. He's certainly prying into business that wasn't his. Whatever he says, don't worry about anything he mentions. At this point, I want to make it so that it's almost like I'm trying to take away from what Goomba's saying, whilst he doesn't know that what Goomba is saying is what I'm telling him, and when Goomba decides to go rogue himself. But it was just going completely perfectly. So we continue on basically doing small things like this. I won't give you every detail, but there's lots of little things we started just saying again where we're still doing all the sniffing on stream. And as you can see, we were starting to like really build and build on this troll here. It was at this point where he must just be sitting back going like, how can this be fake when there's just so many things that have come out of this random troll? And at this point, it'd been going for like 5 or 6 days. Like, it wasn't like, oh, this is done overnight, stop being lazy. No, we did this for like a week at this point. So I decided to message MrSaintsGodzilla as if I was currently high on cocaine. And we were just talking about, like, some Saints Row sort of lore and how, like, a build could come out and help the community. And I decided to just make, like, a really stupid take and defend it with all my heart. And the shit I was saying to just try and defend this take that made 0 sense, by the way. It was something like, if an old bling bling build leaked, then the Saints Row community would be saved, type thing. Something that's, like, it does not make sense to be like that. But if I just go for it 100%, like, with all my heart, he's gonna think I'm going crazy. So I said stuff like this. God, don't you see don't you see clear above the haze of your dunce-like behaviour? The futility in talking to you, the cold embrace of a bitter end, and you idly stand by. The bottomless pit of your agony blinds you in your outlook of a bright tomorrow. Like, I was just, like, starting to throw every fucking word. I was literally typing in big words and finding a way to start putting them into the messages. The point is, at this point, it was getting a little bit too funny. So we had to just keep going and going, because I like funny things. So I messaged Goomba, like, something kind of similar, as if, like, oh, I'm also blowing up his phone, and they start, like, connecting about that, talking about that, like, what the hell's happening with AJ? I wanted to make it so that it's almost like Goomba and Godzilla were both concerned about me, when realistically it was only Godzilla who was concerned about me, and Goomba knew the entire time. This is where it starts to get really, really funny. And, like, we started saying stuff like, oh, I'm gonna have to start to turn myself in because I got busted for selling stuff. And, like, as you can tell, this troll is long. I'm, like, 13 minutes into this recording, and I'm not even, like, halfway done. Like, it was so good. Then I have the great idea. Does anyone remember AJ Tiger? A bit of merch I made on pretty much my first year at YouTube. It was this tiger wearing this stupid shirt. I decided, what if I took a photo of that tiger snorting cocaine? Of course, that's a great and logical thing to do. And it was at this point I had the genius idea of finally showing some official confirmation of me being cocaine addicted, and it was great. So I'll put the photo on screen. It's unbelievably believable. It's also salt. Yes, that's right. I didn't even have, like, flour or anything. I was like, fuck it, man, I'll just go grab salt. This dude's an idiot. And you're probably thinking, there's no way he fell for that. And unfortunately, you are fucking wrong, because he's stupid. He absolutely bit it, man. He was like, bruh. It was so good. I started, like, doing lines of salt. God forbid what would have happened if my parents walked in at that point. Like, how would I even explain that? Oh, I'm making cocaine for my plushie. Yeah, I don't think that would have gone down well. And then came the big one. This is where the troll goes from, like, okay, maybe we should be concerned about AJ to, like, damn, what the fuck do we do at this point? This is where the real troll kicks in. I messaged Goomba this. Goomba, I need a favor. I'm sorry, it's not my fault, but my dealer just got raided, and we had an argument right as I left. He's definitely going to report to me, and I've got enough to get me at least 3 years in the can. I'm sorry to put you in this position, but I'm probably going to have to hand myself in just to reduce my sentence. I need you to manage my channel in this time I'm away. I have a community post for you to put up if you don't hear from me in the next 72 hours, and there are some videos I've prepped if that's okay. And then I kind of blurred out the email and password, and the email said, lol, don't click, this is censor. And the password was Zilla Bitch Boy. And then I made this statement for him to post, and this was so funny. It was, due to some unforeseen circumstances, I am sad to announce I will be taking an indefinite break. During this time, I've allowed a close friend of mine to manage my channel. I have 12 videos prepared for this hiatus, which will be uploaded in 3-month gaps. I wish to thank you for the support and hope you can understand that I didn't expect this outcome. I hope to return to videos and update you guys in the future, etc, etc. Basically, waffle, corpo waffle, to try and make it like, oh man, feel bad for me, oh, I'm leaving. And obviously this was never going to go out, but this was so funny. And then, this is where it's great. See, now this also might be the thumbnail, because it's kind of funny. So, Goomba sends this over, right? And Godzilla just puts back, Jesus, I'm praying this is some elaborate prank or something. No, not just an elaborate prank. possibly the best prank I've ever pulled. By the way, I just want to say, I'm really proud of this, if you can't tell. This might be the most pride I've ever felt making a Saints Row style video in years. Like, there's just something about how well this kind of played out that was just, like, incredible. My mom and dad know about this prank, and they're proud of me too. So Goomba at this point starts, like, framing police pulling me over and, like, getting photos online. I decided not to go with this because I thought, like, at that point we're really tied into the fact that, like, I'm arrested and there's nothing I can do, which means I wouldn't be able to stream and stuff. Like, at that point, to continue the prank on, it would have to stop my YouTube, and somehow we managed to convince Godzilla that I was going to prison while still daily uploading and streaming. He's such a fucking idiot. Oh my god, this is so funny. So basically the kind of prank we went with was that I went into the police station with my solicitors, we sat down and they were going to release me due to overcrowding, but they will also be in contact when I have to go to my court date. Kind of like a I'm let out on bail type deal. And this was an absolutely genius move by me, because it meant that I could completely pretend like nothing happened to you guys and like basically not say anything, whilst Godzilla thinks that behind the scenes, bro, I'm going away for 3+ years. You know when you just sit there and you're like, damn, that's a really good idea, I'm gonna do that. I had one of those ideas. I messaged Goomba, what if we tell him I'm going to fake my death on YouTube and just never return? And this was the final prank. I was gonna convince MrSaintsGodzilla that I'm faking my death, when in reality I'm actually locked away for selling and snorting cocaine. I can't believe this. This is wild. So I kind of was just chilling and stuff, and like I mentioned on stream that I lost weight, and this was kind of funny because he was there, so I made Goomba like basically pretend that I've sent him a photo of my arms and I'm super skinny, as if I'm like, you know, just addicted to crack or something. And then, and then, here's another thing that might be the thumbnail. Godzilla messages me, you know, big respect if this all turns out to be a troll. Very impressive. I again give the I have no idea what you're talking about, please stop being weird type approach. This is really funny, by the way. Like, I wish I could share all the, like, photos and stuff, but I genuinely don't want to share everything, because, like, I don't want Godzilla to be embarrassed, you know? Like, I got him bad, but, I'll show a few things, of course, as we go along. So, I messaged Goomba basically just say, oh, I'm heading into the station, blah, 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 I'm gonna be detained, blah, blah, blah. The bail thing happens, we keep going, we keep going, we keep going. He started, like, to question, like, how has he come home, when he turned himself into the police, which is when we kind of implemented the bail thing, which was really kind of funny. And then we kind of left it and not do too much, like, crazy stuff for a couple days. And then... and then comes the good bit. So after like a couple days of just like nothingness happening, like an empty gap where, well, don't get me wrong, I was still sniffing, I was still layering up this prank, which by the way, at this point, you can tell there's so many layers. He thinks that I've turned myself into the police, that I'm sniffing, that I've lost a ton of weight due to all this, that on stream I'm freaking out. I mean, on stream, I actually faked a freak out at a random subscriber, who, by the way, if you're watching now, I am so sorry, but it was so worth it for this prank. Like, there was just so many, like, layers to what I was building up at this point, that, like, he just bought all of it. Like, he at this point was like, this is so elaborate, I don't think I can not believe this. And then came the best message I've ever sent. Hey Goomba, I'm sorry, but I just got word court proceedings will go ahead this week. I know we planned a statement, but I don't think I'll be out for a very long time. They're trying to add distributing charges, which can add like 5 to 10 years. The point is, I think we're going to need a permanent solution for the channel. I've made a good idea. It's a little dark and I'll need your help. We're going to have to fake my death. I'm thinking if we post a statement about me passing away, it will leave my channel in respect, it won't have too many questions going forward, and nobody will be left wondering. It's harmful, but it may be necessary. I say we don't give too many details, just announce the death, don't elaborate, ask for some time to grieve, and leave a message about how I want people to keep enjoying my content. And then I made a statement. Today we received news that someone known as AJ 3rd Street has passed away. This was an incredibly shocking time for the family, and we're taking time to fully understand and digest the situation. I ask that you allow us to grieve, and we bring some somber news that there will be no further posts, updates, or content on this platform. AJ was incredibly passionate about his content, and he cared for you all a great deal. You get the point. It was a very big, depressing statement, which basically was we're selling this to Godzilla right now that I'm faking my death. And Goomba just claps. Goomba just sends a meme of someone clapping, and he's like, bro. And then, and then, honestly, there's just so many funny things that came from here. And then I was like, at this point, if Godzilla thinks I'm about to fake my death, let's reveal it to him. And this is the good part, okay? So Godzilla's sitting here thinking, damn, AJ's about to post his statement about faking his death. I make a post. And do you want to know what the post says? Important information on the next slide. And then the next slide just reads, I trolled MrSaintsGodzilla so well. And I'm telling you, the sigh of relief after 2 weeks of this troll going ahead. Oh my god, he must have been pissed. And I know he was. He put back immediately after seeing this, I'm only disappointed that he's not going to prison now. And then I message him two sentences. I put, hey pal, I've never had to act coked up on a stream before for a troll. And I knew at this point he was like, so mad. And it was just so damn funny. So at this point, like, I'm just like, well, I've won. He completely brought it, but you know what? He didn't give many details on how he was feeling. But luckily, he's got some snaky ass friends. Apparently, he was genuinely so concerned. I had people coming into my chat being like, you know, you're really scared, Godzilla. And I was just sitting there like, fuck you, lizard! And I'm telling you, okay, he's never going to forgive me for it. I have a feeling I'm going to be pranked majorly going forward. But this genuinely was the funniest thing I have ever done. I can't believe I have pranked this man so well. And I think you should all be incredibly proud of me. So, that's a story of how I convinced MrSaintsGodzilla I had a rampant cocaine addiction, was going to fake my death and go to prison for 10 years. Thanks for watching! A couple things, actually, just before I go. First, I want to say, shout out to you, Godzilla, for being a really good sport, because many people would have been so pissed off of me after this and, like, not spoke to me. But you took it like a champ at the end of the day, and you were a good patron in this, so shout out to you, Godzilla. Second of all, go subscribe to my Goomba. This troll was so much better because he helped me with it, and I think he did an impeccable job, so yeah, shout out to him. And also, this will probably end up being my last Saints Row video for the foreseeable future. So, yeah, I can't be bothered making a big statement about it, but if you've seen any of my streams or any of my content, you know why I'm leaving, so I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.